Hey there, welcome to CT Collectibles. I'm C.
I'm T.
And we'll continue on with our top 5 series. I'm trying to get this in before the season starts. And I think we're going to be able to do that with the second baseman, our top 5 second baseman. We're going to start off with a couple of bonus players, a few players that, they could sneak in there perhaps, or just worth some discussion. Then we'll get into our top 5. We're covering up Jonathan India here, but I think we'll see him in the near future. Probably. So should we get after it here?
Jonathan India's still looking good.
Looking good. I mean looking better with your face. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He's a handsome dude here. So all right, let's go.
I like that hair of him.
Right. Let's talk about Boston's new second baseman here, who is not a top 5 second baseman according to projections. He could certainly be there. We know what he's capable of. But against some of these other guys at the time, it's like, maybe not yet.
This is a pretty stacked infield. They got Schwartz. They moved him into first base. And they got Story at second. They got Bogarts short, and then they got Rafi at third.
Yeah, they might almost all those players might be represented in our countdown series here. So in 2021, Trevor Story hit 250, 300 BABIP. Kind of what he does. Strikes out 23% of the time, walks 10% of the time. Weighted runs created. League average player, 24 home runs, homer to fly ball. In Colorado, didn't really take advantage of the thin air and hit the ball about 40% of the time. It was an off year for Trevor Story, and so the projections say, think he can do a little bit better here. Maybe a 270 average, races BABIP. He's a 300 plus BABIP guy, so if he's able to get a little bit more lucky on some of those balls in play, then we could be looking at a 270 hitter. The strikeout and walk profiles, those typically don't change on a year-to-year basis. Okay, there's players that can make adjustments, but once you've been around for a while, you are what you are for the most part. And he should be able to get back on track to that above average, borderline elite level bat, 123 weighted runs created with 30 home runs. So if he's able to do this, then he's right around that top 5. But after last season, it's like, well, maybe we need to see how you adjust to the confines of Red Sox Stadium. Blanking on the name.
Do you know what's kind of weird about the Red Sox players?
What?
They don't wear Red socks when they're playing. I mean, some do they?
I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they do at some point. I haven't paid that much attention here.
The Rockets really need a story of what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, no, they're doing all sorts of things interesting right now. I don't know. It's tough. You can't see. Well, they're still paying $50 million for Nolan Arenado, and then they signed Chris Bryant to a contract that they probably should have paid Trevor Story. I don't get it. No one knows for sure. But who does get it? Jonathan India, your reigning National League Rookie of the Year. Last year hit 270, 326 BABIP because he's speedy. He's already borderline elite at the plate. He gets the strike zone, walking 10% of the time, striking out 2% of the time with a 122 weighted runs created. Well above average, borderline elite, 21 home runs. Home run to fly ball ratio about 16%. So there's room for him to improve on that. The bandbox is Great American Ballpark. So the projections are saying, maybe that BABIP comes down a little bit. We'll give it a little bit of an average, but still that elite plate presence. Again, they're not looking for a ton of regression, and he was really, really good last year, maybe similar 21 home runs. So the projections don't quite know what to make of him, but they say, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Last year, regress a few things here. Probably still going to be awesome. If he can do that again, maybe improve a little bit, maybe we'll see him in the top 5 next year. Right now, really, really good.
And he also has great hair.
He's got great hair. So Brandon Lowe, this guy
has a great beard.
I wanted to put him at like number 2 or 3 overall for second baseman, right? But there's a lot of variance in his game. But when he's playing, he's elite type stuff. He's MVP type stuff for stretches, right? But I need to see it over a full season before we really bump him up there. Last year, 247 average, striking out 27% of the time, which is tough, and this is why some of these guys will be even with the counting stats, 39 home runs, we'll have them outside of the top 5 because they strike out so much. It's like that really lends a lot of variance to the regular numbers there. If you're striking out a lot, who knows how that really plays out? 137 weighted runs created with 39 home runs after the All-Star break last year. So did a video at the All-Star break saying here's a couple players that may regress positively. Okay, we had some positive regression. Brandon Lowe was one. He was hitting like 220 or something like that with 23 home runs. I'm like, listen, he's getting unlucky at this point. If he can figure out a few more line drives, this guy could wind up. He's not going to be a 260 hitter because that 206 is banked for the season, but he could be upwards of 240, 250. Maybe approach 40 home runs.
You were right.
Yeah, so the numbers don't lie. These guys do what they're going to do, and sometimes they get off track a little bit, but they usually regress to what they're capable of doing. And so,
once in a lifetime, you're right.
Oh my gosh, here it is. So I was wrong when I wanted to have kids. Nice.
Well, then I wouldn't be here right now.
Right. Anyways, moving on here. So the projections figure at a similar average. Now I'm thinking that, if he continues to do what he did last year after the All-Star break, again, 291, 51 home runs, 18 home runs, and a 162 weighted runs created. That's MVP level stuff in the second half. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying, maybe not that for the whole season, but if he's able to not, hit 200 for half a season, maybe he can be upwards of 260, right? That walk rate of 10%, strikeout rate, okay, it is what it is. And that's where the variance comes in. It's like, I will go with safer players in my top 5, but if he's able to bring that down to 20% or something like that, then I would happily put him in the top 2 or 3. It's still an elite level bat with 36 home runs, so it depends on which Brandon Lowe shows up. Do we get second half or do we get first half? So this is a guy that I think could easily make the top 5 if we get more of a steady season out of him instead of a tale of two halves type season. Really like him. That middle infield for Tampa could be something fun to watch. All right, top 5. Let's start it off with our very own Jorge Polanco. There we go. All right. He had a great season last year. So 270 average, walked 7% of the time, struck out under 20% of the time, but career highs, weighted runs created in home runs with 33, home run to fly ball ratio around 16%. Hits the ball pretty hard. So that exit velocity, max exit velocity, launch angle, and barrel were all career high. He saw the ball well last year, squared up, and took advantage of it.
Jorge Polanco is actually the probably one or only Twin to be good and not get traded.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Hey, way to be good and not get traded. So I think we still have a few more years of team control. He's still cheap at least. So this year we're looking for a little increase in average. That BABIP was a little bit low for him. So strikeout rate and walk rate. This is good stuff right here. Striking out less than 10% of the time or 20% of the time. We'd like to see a little more walks out of him, I suppose. But I'm not gonna complain. This is great stuff here. A well above average bat, borderline elite level stuff. 27 home runs. What the heck? Again, because of that strikeout rate. Keeping it low, he'll have more opportunity. He'll reduce his slumps, maybe a little bit more of a consistent season, and that's why I'll put him above Brandon Lowe, and he's a Twin.
This is definitely my favorite picture in all of baseball.
It's a great picture. This is what he gets. Jose Altuve. All right, 280 average last year. Walks 10% of the time, strikes out 13% of the time. Just really, really amazing stuff overall. Elite level bat last year. It was vintage Jose Altuve for the most part. 31 home runs, which was tied for a career high at least. 16% of the balls he put in the air left the park and hit the ball 30% of the time. So it was a really, really good season on the stats, and again he put it together last year, so good for him. So this year they're looking for something a little bit similar, I think, because he's got enough of a track record. It's like how much variance we're going to get out of this guy at this point here. So 274 average, walks and strikeout rates pretty darn similar or exact. The projection systems got lazy on that one. Weighted runs created just shy of elite, so you put him in that Polanco range right here. But because he's done it for so long, it's like you gotta give him the nod in that head-to-head there. 26 home runs. So that home run to fly ball ratio was his second highest of his career. 23.3 was his high in 2019. So again, he doesn't do that a whole lot, but he went for it this year. So fly ball rate was a career high, and he pulled the ball a lot more. So what we're seeing out of Altuve as guys age is they start to swing a lot harder, and they're trying to pull the ball to get it out of the park a little bit easier. So one of the things we need to watch out with him is just kind of a slowdown in the overall game. But it's not there yet. He's adjusting well to the aging process.
So probably the only person that's
all right, sorry about that. So anyways, he's adjusting well to the aging process, and I don't know, do you have anything else to say about Jose Altuve other than that picture's awesome?
Yes, it is awesome.
I think there's some Major League Baseball players that did that as like a Halloween costume. We should find that.
We definitely should. But Adam Simber, if you don't know him, he's the submarine
yeah,
pitcher,
I know.
or all the submarine pitchers.
Right.
They should probably be the ones pitching to Jose Altuve.
Right. The release point is like at his, probably at like his waist. Everybody else is like at their ankles.
But if Aaron Judge is pitching,
why would he be pitching? He's got an incredible arm. He should be pitching. So
exactly. If he came in for substitute pitching, like Anthony Rizzo kind of. But.
Very good. Let's go with our number 3. This is my favorite second baseman, but a couple other guys, they're sneaking ahead just a little bit here. Ozzie Albies, an all-star Ozzie Albies, no slouch whatsoever. So unlucky on the BABIP, so looking for his average to rise this year, and this will put him in the number 3 spot for our rankings. Walk to strikeout rate, and you're looking at 10-20 excellent stuff here. Weighted runs created just above average, so not the greatest season overall in terms of weighted runs created, but everything else was okay. The average again low for him. So, but 30 home runs, career high. Home run to fly ball rate. Didn't hit a ton of balls in terms of fly balls leaving the park. It wasn't an elite level or anything like that, but he hit the ball pretty hard. And so we are looking for that average to rise this year back up to a normal level here. Strikeout rate, walk rate should be pretty similar. Should be more of a valuable player here at 114 weighted runs created and 25 home runs. And so looking at Polanco and Altuve, it's like on the surface, they could certainly overtake Ozzie Albies for the most part, especially looking at these numbers. But I just think Ozzie Albies was so far off his game last year, and he was still really, really good. It's like any improvement really brings him back into that top 3, I think.
And he's probably one of the best switch hitters in the game besides Francisco Lindor.
I agree.
Or with Francisco Lindor.
It could be. Oh, yeah. I mean, after Lindor's season last year, they're sure a lot closer, right? These are some stats. Marcus Semien, number 2. All right, our average 265, walk and strikeout rate, elite level stuff. Weighted runs created, elite 45 home runs, career high. Home run to fly ball rate, 18% of balls that were hit in the air left the park. 26% of balls are hard hit. This is a continuation of what he started in 2019. He wasn't doing any of this, and then all of a sudden 2019, he's like, I'm just going to swing for power. And it worked, and he did, and it worked. And he's been able to maintain that for the last 3 years and got himself a nice deal in Texas. And so that Texas heat, maybe that he continues. So we look at the average and the BABIP, going to be kind of similar here. Walk and strikeout rate is what it is. Elite level bat, 30-plus home runs, probably not 45 home runs. Again, home run to fly ball ratio, highest of his career. Maybe we see that regress a little bit. Now, if he keeps doing this, then we have to say, okay, that is who he is, a fly ball guy who's putting the ball out of the park. But last year, career high fly ball rate, pull, exit velocity, max exit velocity, barrel percentage, launch angle. So it is a continuation, but last year was an extreme version of what he's been changing himself into. So doubtful that it's repeatable, but even if he doesn't repeat it, that's enough to be kind of the number 2 guy. Just incredible stuff overall. And our number 1 second baseman for the year. So it'll be interesting what they do.
Kind of like Trevor Story. He's moving from shortstop to second base, and Max Muncy's moving from first to second base.
Yeah,
you got to make room for Freddie.
Freddie Freeman is going to push Max Muncy, but you've got Chris Taylor and Gavin Lux. So there's going to have to be a DH in there somewhere. Dude's going to play. We're going to call him a second baseman. He's definitely not a first baseman at this point, right?
Well, you got Fred.
250 average. You've got the nice high walk rate. I love that. To see the 15% walk rate, 20% strikeout rate, 140 weighted runs created with 36 home runs, 23% home run to fly ball ratio. Nothing extreme there. A lot of this stuff is really repeatable, and that's what the projections are saying almost to a T here. Walks and strikeouts kind of the same here. Elite level bat, 35 home runs. That average in that 250, the BABIP, whatever. Everything is just Max Muncy is who he is at this point, and he is awesome. And so he's going to be our number. And he finds himself at a position that traditionally is more of a weaker offensive position, although lately not so much. But Max Muncy finds himself.
He's lucky to even be getting playing time with all that. Like the Dodgers lineup is like.
No, look at that. No, you are not lucky to be getting playing time with that.
Well, not exactly lucky.
That is earned. No, with that in that lineup, yeah, maybe it's not like on any other team. Like he'd be the man, right? But on the Dodgers, it seems like he gets a little bit lost. But he is an amazing player, and he is our number 1 second baseman. There it is. What do you think of the list? Good with it?
I like it.
Anything we need to do different?
I like it.
All right. Then we're good. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
James Harden has a great beard.